You know, I just don't know sometimes. So, no, but for real, like, what's crazy is, so first off, yeah, flatards, stop trying to steal our theories and trying to, because, I mean, that's essentially all y'all are doing, you flatards. And actually, I'm making this video first, and then, cause this has to be its own little entity, because this is specifically towards the flatards. Y'all are trying to steal our theories that we've worked on, and you're trying to create this ludicrous idea, and all you're doing is making it harder for the real truth to come out, because, oh, well, I heard this from a flatard. And so, I heard this conspiracy from a flatard, regarding the, space and this, that, and the other. And, and it's like, whoa. So that's the thing, is that the flatards are taking relevancy out of a lot of the points, because they're making these arguments that don't even make sense. That, hell, they can't come up with a theory, that actually explains the flat Earth. So, how about y'all go back to the drawing board, you flatards, and come up with an actual theory and make sense of things. Because I have to be honest with you, I think the biggest problem that the Flat Earth Society has is that they're the Flat Earth Society. A lot of their other elements provide a certain amount of truths, and I really do appreciate that. However, they really need to get their act together. Oh, you know what? I'll just make it one video because I'm being lazy and try to get some glue. Made myself too. What I do, I 3/4 cups of water on a stove. I'll bring that to a boil with a cinnamon stick and sugar. Once that's to a boil, bring it down to a simmer, squeeze the orange juice into it. Get a whole orange and squeeze it. And then in halves, because you just cut in half. And then put the cloves in there and the rinds, and just let that simmer for about 30 minutes to thicken up, reduce it, make it not like a syrup, but, and then I had the wine. I did mine in a crock pot, so, I did it on the stove and finished it off in the crock pot. I had the wine warming up, and then I just got that going, then, so pretty much, let it stew for, about an hour or so, and then used the little strainer to take care of it. Glug, mulled wine, sangria. Anyways, spiced and citrusy, 4.7 pounds of pressure is what the spacesuits are at. Internal pressure. They train in the water environment, and it looks like, like their average depth is, about 10 to 15, 20 feet. And while at 10 feet, actually 10.75 feet, because I just did the calculations for it. Well, I found the calculations for. I found a calculator that I could put numbers into and would do the math for me. The at 10.75 feet in salt water, the pressure is 4.7 pounds per square inch. In fresh water at the same depth is 4.66 pounds. What I know about a vacuum is, well, if space was a vacuum, is a vacuum, if I put a balloon into space, it would just pop. Because there's no pressure containing the gases within the structure of the latex balloon. With that being said, excuse me, there would be constant force and pressure, or force, a tensile force on the spacesuits, and especially if the spacesuits are inflated in a vacuum. So we're talking about, we're talking about, well, there's equal pressure going on, or negative pressure going on all around it, then essentially the astronaut will not be able to move. That's what it really comes down to, because it'd be a rigid structure, and it would take metal. Like basically a deep diving suit in order to go into space. And even then, would that actually work? Because how do we actually measure that vacuum? What it really comes down to, I believe, is that the vacuum is full. And what it is full of, I'm not too certain, because I can't pay. This is the void, and essentially what I can understand. Now, what's going on up there is basically the same thing that's going on down here, because, well, we measure things at sea level, and when we go down to a certain depth in the water, there are certain atmospheres of pressure, and there's different level of just like when we go up and there's less pressure, which is why water boils at a lower temperature. The thing is that the water doesn't get nearly as hot, though. So that's the I can't go into a complete science experiment right now, or I'm ready to go on a tangent. So essentially that's what I see with space, and then but basically material world, it's like planets and things of size, I guess, we can experience. There's different pressures. There's different influences upon us. It's just like there's magnetosphere, the lithosphere, the Van Allen radiation belt. The Earth has its own electromagnetic solar system. The thing is, what's going on out the rest of the way, and like I say, I just this is where I'm at with my thinking, is that there's too much going on. And the best way to make sense of it is just to kind of break it down, and if it's all a fractal universe, then we just have to, and just like there's the solar system, so there's, so we can just look at gravity as a way to measure depths. I mean, and so that's the thing, is that what we really need to pay attention to, I think, being that everything's in orbit, because like this is me deducing things, everything is blown up, then I bring it back down, but then I have to blow it back up, and the Earth is influenced by the sun's gravity. So essentially that means that we're, affected by the sun's gravity as well. Just like we're affected by the moon's gravity and Earth's gravity. And that means that we're affected by, because those are the pressures of our existence. I'm still just trying to figure out how a spacesuit works in the vacuum and why they're pressurized to the, and that's the thing too, is why are they training for their missions in a pressurized environment? Why are they not working in a vacuum? And there's one astronaut who was talking about how they were doing this drilling thing, and the guy's hands were hurt really, really bad because when he was working in the vacuum. And that's the thing is, did we go there? Well, maybe not when we said we did. There are so many different possibilities because the Van Allen radiation belts are, definitely in the way of things. But I'm not saying that we don't have the technology. All right, I've went on for long enough. Take care, be safe, be kind, stay strong.